From the National Weather Service in Raleigh, this is our weekly weather briefing. Today we're covering the period of March 11th, today, Thursday, through the middle of next week. I'm Jonathan Blaze here along with Jimmy Danko, and we'll just be discussing the weather here for the next week or so. All right, so the weather pattern for the next week or so. Today, starting off, we have surface high pressure that's centered just off the western Atlantic, just off our coast out near Bermuda, actually. And that feature, combined with an approaching cold front, which last hour stretched from southern Michigan into the Missouri Valley area and is depicted here in the upper left chart. Those two features and the circulations around them is producing a south to southwesterly flow of much milder and somewhat dry air across our area. So for today, we just expect fair weather with periods of high clouds, particularly this afternoon, this evening. However, the infrequent gustiness of the wind combined with the mild temperatures and especially with humidities that will drop into the lower and even mid-20s this afternoon will result in the potential for some increased fire danger across a portion of North Carolina, mainly the northern tier, closest to the Virginia border counties. So really anywhere north of interstate, or actually north of US 64, the winds will be gusty enough and the humidities will be dry enough that if there were a wildfire or something similar, that could get out of hand pretty quickly. And outdoor burning is kind of discouraged in those areas. And formally, there's a red flag warning up in effect in Virginia. So the northern part of North Carolina is just on the edge of those conditions, and we're monitoring that pretty closely to make sure things don't get any worse up there. But for most of us, it should be a nice, warm, sunny day with a little bit of a breeze from the west and southwest. That cold front will slide south and east. It'll move across North Carolina during the afternoon on Friday and especially Friday evening. As that front comes through, it may produce a shower or two in a few spots. Could even be a thunderstorm perhaps out in the mountains or foothills. That may stretch into the Triad area, but for the most part, the moisture is limited, so the potential for any significant convection or showers should be fairly limited, but can't rule out maybe a rumble or two of thunder. But the precipitation will be scattered in nature and most widespread, quite likely Friday afternoon and evening. But still, for most of us, it'll be dry, will be inconsequential, so I would not cancel any kind of outdoor plans or worry too much about that. The front will drop south and set up near the South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee area for much of the weekend and stall down there. And as it does, high pressure over the Great Lakes will build into our region. So our period of dry and especially milder temperatures we've had and warm temperatures we've had for the past several days will come to an end this weekend as a cooler air mass along with a good deal of cloudiness will move into the area. It could even be some spotty light rain around on Saturday, especially in the morning. But again, coverage on that should be limited and don't expect much in terms of rainfall amounts. Sunday, that front stalls still to our south. Eventually, though, that front will lift north as we head into the early portion of next week as a warm front, and we expect a couple weather systems to move across the area. The first one most likely late on Monday into Tuesday, and perhaps a second one later on Wednesday into Thursday. The first one on late Monday into Tuesday, that'll be a cooler system, so we don't expect much in the way of thunderstorms. In fact, we could have some rain on Tuesday morning with temperatures in the upper 30s, perhaps near the Virginia border. So a kind of chilly, yucky morning there. The system later, perhaps midweek, Wednesday into Thursday, could be much milder, and we may be dealing with more in the way of thunderstorms with that system. So looking at the rainfall for the next week or so, dry conditions again today, so no precipitations in our forecast here in the upper left panel. For tomorrow, just some spotty showers with the front as it drops south. Don't expect much in coverage. Our rainfall chances are kind of on the order of 20, maybe 30% at worst. So don't expect much going on there, and outdoor activities should be fine. Saturday, some spotty rain possible near and just behind the front, which will be to our south. Again, don't expect a lot, but there will be more cloudiness, and it'll be notably cooler on Saturday into Sunday. Next week, again, we have the two weather features that approach. Most of this rain here that shows up in this panel for Sunday and Monday occurs on Monday, especially late in the day. And then we have another system again Wednesday into Thursday. So our 7-day rainfall total shows this kind of darker blue into this lighter blue. And that is rainfall amounts generally from a ½ inch, perhaps as much to an inch. But amounts probably going to be more like a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch in probably the wettest areas. So considering we haven't had much widespread rain really since the 1st of March, I know in my yard in some spots it's actually getting pretty dry. So that will actually be pretty helpful for the grass and flowers and things percolating up this time of year. So as we head into the excessive rainfall outlook, and this is an outlook mainly designed for like flash flooding and rapid periods of rain. Again, no threat there with any excessive rain over the next 3 days. And looking at the severe weather potential for the next 3 days, again, no stronger severe storms are expected. The forecast for Friday doesn't include any thunderstorms in here, but would not surprise me if we have an isolated storm or two, maybe in the mountains or foothills. But again, no stronger severe storms are expected for the next 3 days. Looking now further out into the really the third week of March, looking at the 18 to 14-day period, the guidance suggests temperatures at and slightly above normal are favored in our region, with precipitation amounts perhaps near normal to slightly above normal. So a milder trend perhaps in store for us as we head into the third week of the month. So just to summarize things, we have 2 more warm days. Again, highs today will be in the mid, maybe upper 70s. More of that tomorrow on Friday. The forecast panel here at the bottom is for the Raleigh area, but again, warm today and Friday, and a pretty mild night tonight as well. We do have that elevated fire weather concerns today due to the low humidities and gusty winds, especially across the north near the Virginia border counties. Cold front moves across the area late Friday afternoon, Friday night, bringing a few showers, maybe a storm, but that probably sounds worse than it will be, so don't let that ruin your outdoor plans, and little impact is expected from that. Front hangs out to our south. It'll be cooler and a little bit more cloudy this weekend, and then 2 rain chances again are featured as we head into the early portion and middle of next week. And again, we're finishing up Severe Weather Awareness Week. Yesterday we had our tornado drill, and we'll be finishing up really our preparations as we head and getting folks ready for our severe weather season, which shouldn't surprise anybody, but that will be ramping up here in the coming weeks. And as the weather pattern kind of warms up a bit, we expect the severe weather threat to increase over the coming weeks. So please begin to prepare for that. So with that, we'll conclude our weekly briefing. I'll stand by for a few questions if there are any. Otherwise, hope everyone has a great weekend and enjoy the warm days for the next for today and tomorrow before it turns cooler and a little bit cloudier for the weekend. Thanks, everybody.